we decided probably about 24 hours before we were going to go get our marriage license. So we went down to town hall, me very pregnant and everything, and went and got our marriage license. And then we were like, we should do some type of ceremony. Like,
hello, and welcome back to the Chats with Kat podcast, The Wedding Era. I'm your host, Catherine Michelle, and a fellow bride-to-be, which is why this podcast even exists. This is officially our second episode. I'm so happy to be here, and I do have a lot to catch you guys up on in the last 7 days of wedding planning. I have absolutely spiraled. I'm not even going to pretend that I haven't. I've absolutely spiraled. Originally, our plan was to get married in the south of France, which is where my fiance is from. But we're 9 months out and most venues are completely taken. There's not a Saturday in sight for the entire summer from May to September that's available. And then October, you have a higher potential for rain, and that doesn't sound like any fun. So I literally started to panic. Our wedding planner sent us the options of what's available. Not one of them had a Saturday availability except for the Four Seasons in Cap Ferrat. They only allowed private events of 60 people. And we're going to be 100. So that automatically just doesn't work for us. And so that night, I started to spiral. And I was like, you know what? What if we did a Christmas wedding in a chateau outside of Paris in December? I love Christmas. There'll be twinkle lights everywhere. It'll be fabulous and glamorous. Everyone can wear furs and, just like exude glamour. It'd be so much fun. We'd throw like the ultimate Christmas party ever, basically. So I emailed like any chateau within an hour outside of Paris. I was like, our guests can come to Paris. We can shuttle them to the venue. Not ideal, is what it is. Let's look at those options. And then I took it a step too far and I had my very first bridal blackout. I don't even know if that's a thing, but it was for me. I seriously inquired with Versailles. What? Like, who has a wedding in Versailles? I actually sent an email to Versailles, to their events team, and was like, do you have any availability? I almost immediately texted my fiance and I was like, I need to go touch grass. Like, I've lost my mind. This is crazy. I've lost my mind. So I guess lucky for us, Versailles only has private events available on Mondays. And we want to get married on a Saturday, so that doesn't work. So Versailles is off the list, but that's really like how far I spiraled. I additionally also emailed pretty much all the Four Seasons in all the ski spots in Europe. Me and my fiance are huge skiers. Our family ski. We love to ski. We're like, what if we did a ski wedding? That'd be so much fun. And I, once again, emailed pretty much every single Four Seasons across Europe at a ski station. And then I got a text from our wedding planner that my number one choice venue in the south of France just became available on my desired date on a Saturday in September 2026. This date is my grandfather's birthday. It's sentimental. I'm very like woo-woo with numbers. And the fact that a Saturday in September on this date with my top venue just suddenly became available was like, I'm done searching. I just need to take the leap. This is our venue. This was meant to be. And if you're wondering if you should get a wedding planner, this experience of being able to get this spot on this date last minute is exactly why you should get a wedding planner, because she got offered this spot because she's good friends with the venue owner, because she's thrown weddings there so many times. So she was actually like the first person that the venue owner reached out to and said, hey, we have a cancellation. Does your bride want this date? And we were able to get it before anybody else did. And now we've secured our date and our venue for our wedding. Like, when I tell you that the past 7 days has been crazy in our household, I mean, my fiance thinks I'm nuts. He's like, what do you mean? Are we having, a Christmas wedding in a chateau outside of Paris? Are we having a ski wedding? Are we having a wedding in the south of France? I'm like, I don't know. But now we know. We have a date. We have a venue. It is so fabulous. It's going to be so much fun. And now, in my mind, the fun begins. Like, now we get to talk colors. Now we get to talk dresses. Now we get to do all the fun stuff. So my big update for you guys this week is that we officially have a date and a venue on a Saturday in the south of France in 2026. And I'm so excited. We are under 300 days away from the day that I'm recording this to the wedding date. And I'm pinching myself. I'm absolutely just over the moon. So that is my weekly update. I am so excited. I feel like I can finally take like a huge deep breath and just enjoy ourselves. And actually, this weekend, my fiance's mom's coming to town. She's going to come stay with us in London. We're going to go to the V&A Museum in London to go see the Marie Antoinette exhibit and get some inspiration for our looks. And we're just going to have like the most fun little weekend together and continue to keep wedding planning. And I'm just so excited. So once again, thank you so much for listening. We have a great episode for you. Hi, Maddie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I miss you.
I miss you. It's so good to see you.
Good to see you too. I'm going to give you a little intro and then we'll jump into it if that works. Welcome back to Chats with Cats, the wedding era. Today's episode is truly a storybook. We are talking to Maddie, my dear friend who literally married her childhood next door neighbor. Their love story has everything in it, from growing up across the street from each other to turning their friendship into dating, to getting engaged, having a baby, getting married, and eloping in Gurney's in Montauk. And we will talk about it all. So without further ado, this one's a special episode. Hi, Maddie. I'm so happy you're here.
Me too. Thanks for having me.
With pleasure. For everyone listening, can you please introduce yourself? Who are you? Where'd you grow up? Paint us the whole picture.
All right. I am Maddie, or Madison, but all my childhood friends call me Maddie. It's fine. I am from Southampton, New York. I grew up here. I went to college in California, and then I missed home, so home I came. And that starts the love story.
But really, the love story, because I know exactly the street that I've been to your house, I've been to your husband's house. It was across the street, like actually the same street, just on the other side of the road.
Yes.
How long did you guys live there?
He moved across the street probably like when he was in the first or second grade, and we graduated the same year in high school, same high school. So yeah.
That is so funny. And we were all friends in high school. I was a couple years younger than you guys, but were you guys friends in high school? Were you guys friends growing up?
Because Southampton's such a small school, we were friendly. We went to all the same parties, all, same group of friends kind of, but we never were really like close friends growing up. We just knew each other. We knew we were neighbors. And then after college is when we started to more hang out as friends, closely as friends. And that turned into a relationship.
Into marriage and a baby. Was there a moment when you guys were friends before you started dating or had ever kissed that you looked at him different and you're like, oh, actually, there might be something there?
It's funny because not before, like not in high school, not ever in high school did I ever really have those feelings. I actually have a really funny photo from our friend Evie's house from New Year's, and it's me and our dear friend Paulina both kissing him on the cheek, and the caption reads, our husband. So foreshadowing.
You manifested it. Did you guys have a New Year's kiss that New Year's?
We didn't, no. I know.
So, I mean, it's kind of weird that I actually don't know these stories. When did you guys cross the boundary of friendship into maybe a little something more?
So we both were back from college at home. Not many people had really done, we're home yet. Yeah. And we lived across the street. So we were like, hey, let's just hang out. We started hanging out more and more. And I just remember one day I was like, I think I like him. And I was like, I think I like him. And we happened to go to RIP, but we were at, oh my gosh, what is the club called? In East Hampton, Georgica. Okay.
Okay.
We were at
wow. Throwback for all the Hamptons people that are in their 30s. You probably remember Georgica.
Yes, you definitely remember Georgica. And so we were there on a Monday because that was
the day to go.
That was the night to go.
Yep.
And my friend, who is no longer my friend, but she literally forced our faces together and she was like, you guys like each other, kiss. And so our first kiss was at Georgica.
That's cute. I didn't realize that. That is the sweetest thing ever.
Yeah. And so that was our first kiss. And from there, we just started, it was just a natural progression. I would say we never really had like a conversation until I was heading to Massachusetts to visit my family. And I remember texting him and being like, so I like you. Like, do you like me? And he was like, yeah. And we're like, so are we boyfriend and girlfriend?
That is so cute.
I know. And so then we became boyfriend and girlfriend. And
And at the
He,
time, how old are you? We're young, right? We're like in our
yeah, we're
early
like
20s.
22, I would say.
Yeah,
Yeah, like 21, 22. Yeah, we were 22 because we've been together for that long.
been a while.
And from there, we just started spending basically every waking hour together
Yeah.
and non-waking hour together as well.
I was so excited when I found out you guys were dating. I was like, yes! Like this is so much fun.
I know. Yeah.
So
And so here we are.
it's the
All the
best.
things in
So how
between.
long were you guys dating before you got engaged?
We dated, I think it was 8 years before we got engaged. Um, and he proposed to me at Wolfer Estates in the winter. Yes. His family was here from Miami and they were visiting, and we were all at Wolfer drinking wine. He told me to wear something nice that day. I was like, well, that's strange.
Right.
Yeah. And we went outside for a walk by the vines, and he started being, really cute and mushy, and just started saying how much he loves me and all the things we've done together and the travels, and got down on one knee and asked me to marry him.
That is so sweet. And
Yeah.
obviously you said yes.
Obviously, I said yes.
And then how quickly did Elsie come along?
So then Elsie came along. We're in like the slow process of thinking of a wedding, what we were
Right.
going to do, the whole big, small, whatever. And then we found out in July, the year of being engaged. We were engaged in the winter. And then in the following summer, we found out we were pregnant with Elsie.
Yay.
Yeah. And so from that point on, we were just kind of like, okay, a wedding doesn't really make, if we're going to do a wedding, I'm not doing it super pregnant. That's not fun for me. It's a waste of, it's just like a waste of money and energy
You
for
can't
me.
drink. You're not going to have as much
It
fun.
was like, I can't have a party and I want to have a party. And so we were just going back and forth the whole time. And I was like, let's just elope. Let's get it done. And he, as you know, is a party guy. He loves a good party. And so
Loves
he
a
really
good party.
yeah. He really wasn't into the idea at first, of eloping. And then of course, in February, we finally, because she was due in March, in February, I finally got him to, hop on the train of eloping. And I was like, people who have babies, it's just really hard to then have a wedding.
Right.
And so we decided probably about 24 hours before we were going to go get our marriage license. So we went down to town hall, me very pregnant and everything, and went and got our marriage license. And then we were like, we should do some type of ceremony. Like, we need someone to marry us. And so we reached out to our friend Ray, who was ordained. And we were like, hey, I think we're going to get married tomorrow.
Are you available?
Oh, yeah. Are you available to marry us? And he was elated. And so from there, we were just, it was very small. Unfortunately, you and Paulina weren't there.
It's okay. We were just happy for you.
I know. You guys are the best. And so we got one of the suites, the 2-bedroom suites at Gurney's. We rented it, and we were like, we're just going to do our ceremony on the balcony looking over the ocean because, that's
in February.
February 22nd of 2022. So it was 2/22/22.
Good numbers.
Yes. So we were like, and his mom is, very into numbers and all of that. And she was like, that is the perfect day.
Meant to be.
Yeah. And so my very pregnant self and Michael that day, we went to the jewelry store and we were like, hey, we need some wedding bands today. And so he bought me like a little tiny diamond band. I was like, it's fine. I'm happy with it. And they actually had to loan him a ring because there was nothing that fit him properly. So they loaned him a ring. We purchased the ring that was going to come later. And we stopped in Sag Harbor, and I went to the best florist ever, Sag Harbor Florist.
Yep.
He said, hey, I need a bouquet today. I'm getting married. And they, made a beautiful bouquet, and it was just Michael's best friend, Vincent, his wife,
Mm-hmm.
um, a lifetime long friend of ours, Kelsey, and our friend Kyle, who we mutually have been friends with since high school. And there we got married in the rain on a balcony at Gurney's.
I'm obsessed. And the photos are going to pop up on the YouTube and on Spotify.
Okay.
So if you want to see what these are going to look like, what the wedding looked like, it was so cute. Like, oh my gosh, they're so fabulous, the photos. You had 24 hours basically
Yes.
when you decided to get married, and the date happened to line up with all the twos and everything. Your dress, did you just happen to have a white slip dress in your closet? Because it is very your style. Like, your bridal style was so authentically to who you are in your style.
Yes.
Which is something I really appreciate about you, because I feel like I don't even know what my personal style is. I'm like, what's my bridal style? But you have such a unique personal style, and it was reflected in your bridal style.
Well, thank you. I'm a very decisive person. So I had purchased this dress thinking, oh, it would be so fun for a honeymoon or for the after party. It was the brand Sleeper. They're a Ukrainian brand. And it was this white silk dress with like feather trim at the top.
So
and
cute.
I was like, that's the dress, but hopefully it fits me still, because I was very pregnant. And it did. And so I threw that, put it on in a dust bag. And then I was like, I'm going to be freezing. So I grabbed a really fun cashmere duster that I've owned forever that Michael had given me for Christmas. And it had a Bob Marley quote on the back, which I found very fitting. And some really good gold platform shoes that were...
These shoes, once again, go to YouTube or Spotify to see them. They were so cool. Big, like 70s, chunky heels.
Yes. And I was like, I haven't worn heels in months and months since Paulina's wedding, but I'm going to do it. And yeah. And, Michael thankfully had a suit that fit him in the closet well. And,
Probably from Paulina's wedding as well, because he had just worn a suit 6 months earlier.
Definitely from Paulina's wedding. And, it was just very fun. It was very chill. His mom was there. None of my family was there, but, we planned to do a large party, probably for our 10-year anniversary. So stay tuned.
I do want to get into that, because I sent you an SOS text like a month ago when I was in Spain. I was like, and we'll get into that in a second, but I do want to stay focused on your Gurney's wedding for just a little bit longer. So that day, after the ceremony happens, you guys are now married. Did you guys have dinner together all at Gurney's? Did you play any music? Like, did everyone just go home and it was just you and Michael?
So his mother stayed, his dad lived in Montauk. So was easy. Because we had a 2-bedroom suite. Our friend Kyle also stayed with us because he got a little too drunk.
Kyle's never far. He used to live in your basement too. Like, Kyle's always around.
Yeah, always there. Mike called him that day and was like, hey, so we're getting married today. And Kyle literally had to drive all the way from East Hampton to Quogue to pick up a suit from his house, to drive all the way back to Montauk. And if people don't know, that's like an hour both directions.
I mean, thank God it was the winter and it wasn't summer. Otherwise, it would have been 4 hours. But
yeah, definitely.
Kyle's the best. Cousin Kyle, you rock.
Yes.
He's definitely not listening, but shout out.
But he will. I'll make him listen. And so then we, everyone celebrated with champagne. Yeah. I had non-alcoholic champagne. And then we went to dinner. We had a huge dinner with everyone that had been there. And it wasn't huge. It was like 6 people, but
for the guests that were there.
Yeah. We had a large dinner at Gurney's, and they brought out a cake, and it was so magical. It was so fun. It was so special. And yeah, everyone got hammered. I went to bed early. I was like, these shoes need to come off. And I went to the room. I watched probably some Gilmore Girls and went to bed.
Dream wedding night.
Yeah, no complaints. Woke up the next day and we had balloons in our room and we had cards and, some gifts, and it was just so magical. We ordered room service and just sat in bed, and Kyle snuck out and had to go to work, and we just hung out for the whole day at Gurney's and just really, celebrated each other. And then we started texting everyone. We texted Paulina, we
Yeah.
texted you. We're like, we're married.
So excited. I was friends with you guys before you started dating. So I knew you guys separately. I had also seen you guys date other people during that time. And then to see you guys come together and then see the relationship, that whole 8 years or whatever it was, just continue to blossom and then get pregnant. It was just, I'm such a sucker for love. That's why this podcast even exists.
Yeah.
I was so excited for you guys. I was so happy for you guys. And then a month later, little baby
9
Elsie
months
arrives.
later, she came 8 days later.
Oh my gosh.
She came
Good
early.
timing.
Yeah. It's like, I know you guys are married, so I'm coming on out. And then 8 days later, we gave, birth to her. But I will say, like, outside of doing it that way, I know you know this, but I also had some falling out with some friends that weren't very happy for us and were a little, I would say, selfish, I guess, in, they couldn't see what it was and who it was for, and they just took it a little selfishly, and we are no longer friends.
And that's crazy. I think that wedding planning and throwing weddings, whether it's an elopement or a big wedding, really like shuffles the cards on friendships, and people are going to be offended, and they shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Like sometimes if someone's not invited to my wedding, it has nothing to do with them and my friendship with them. It's like, I'm just out of space, or there's something else going on, and people in your life are taking it far too personally versus just like being excited for exactly what it was.
Yeah. I think they just, people have, especially like in the day and age that we're in, it's like a very, with social media, which I love, but like, it's a very like selfish culture. It's like me, me, me. And I think they just kind of lost the plot and made it about themselves. And they definitely made me cry that day. But, I don't remember that, like I remember it
because we're talking about it, but
outside of that, it was still such a beautiful, special, important day in our lives, that it doesn't damper the day at all. Looking
and
back.
I feel like the universe works in specific ways and in special ways, and maybe that was just meant to kind of take itself out of your life.
Definitely.
And who knows if it ever comes back, but like for now, I think that life's really good in your world, and your baby's perfect, and in your marriage is perfect, and like sometimes you just don't need the, I don't want to call it trash, but like sometimes you don't need the noise.
And that's just like the ebb and flow of life. And if something that made me so happy upset them so deeply, then that's okay. It's my life. And the people,
100%.
like you and Paulina, like they were so happy for me and still are so happy for us, and really showed up in a very special way without being there.
I don't know how someone could be mad at their friend getting married to the love of their life.
I don't either.
That's bad, period. Like end of sentence.
I know, but you hear horror stories, so
100%. I feel like I'm already starting to deal with that as I'm trying to plan my wedding and getting our guest list together. I, in the beginning, forgot that I have a husband who also will have guests that he would like to invite. And I was like, what do you mean? You can't. That's my guest list. And unfortunately, I have to split the guest list. So there's going to be his friends and his family, not all of which I've met. I haven't met all of his family. I've met all of the friends that will be there. And same for me and my family. He hasn't met all of my family that will be there. But that means that there are people that are, unfortunately, my friends that aren't going to be there. And I am anticipating the fallout. And it's something that scares me. But I'm just going to say, listen, like we have a set number. It is what it is.
And if they
I hope that you still love me afterwards.
No, literally. It's like if you can't be happy for me just for living my own life.
Totally.
It's not a huge place for you in my life, especially as, like we grow older and you moved to London and we can still have a friendship. And like, I think that's very special. And I think that's very important. And the people that can't do that, there's just no space for, especially bringing in a baby into my life, like.
Yeah. I mean, there was bigger things going on. Let's welcome this beautiful little girl into the world and come around you as a community and support you, not tear you down on a beautiful day and right before you're about to give birth. Like, it's just crazy.
Yeah. Yes, it was, but
but we digress.
We've moved on.
See you later, bye. What did it feel like to marry someone that you've literally known your entire life?
It felt like I was like in a movie, like in a rom-com, honestly. People are always like, "So you guys are high school sweethearts?" And it's like, "No, but we took the same bus together, we graduated on the same stage together, we went to all the same parties." So
So
there's
cute.
there's something really cool about knowing him even previously to being in a relationship with him,
Yeah.
and like knowing the type of person he was and all the things all the things he did, good or bad.
We know all the skeletons in all the
Yes.
closets.
Um, so it was something, I mean, it's funny because I always joke, like, if I didn't know him growing up, like, I'd have a PI on him because I'd be like, "Who are you? Like, I don't know if you're real. I don't know if
Yeah,
this,"
yeah, yeah.
you know? So it was just really special, and it was really cool to then create a life with someone who has been in your life for so long, even if you're not super friends, you're very parallel with one another. Um, it's just really cool.
I mean, I feel like you saw each other go from middle schoolers to high schoolers to college students to boyfriend and girlfriend, and now to see him as your husband and as a dad. Like, what was that like? What is it like to see Michael as a dad now?
It's amazing. He's such a good dad. He's so hands-on. He was meant to be a girl dad, even though he
Yeah.
really wanted a boy.
No, no, no. He was supposed to
He
have
was
a girl.
meant to be a girl
Yeah.
dad. It's so special, and it really brings out like a beautiful soft side in him, which like he loves me. He's always been loving to me, but it's just a whole other level of love and just like protection watching him
Yeah.
become a dad and be a dad. And it's really cool cuz she will go to preschool next year in the elementary school that we went to school in.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. So it's like a big full circle, and I just find it like, this is gonna sound so funny, but, like, I always, like, loved Gilmore Girls and, like, the concept of, like, small town, like, bringing it all back full circle,
Yeah.
and that is basically my life, so
Yeah, you live in a Hallmark movie. It's the
yeah.
sweetest thing ever. Is there a moment from the ceremony that still lives rent free in your mind?
I think it was when we were in the room and the 3 people that were there, everyone started to come in and they were just so happy for us. And
Yeah.
it's so nice because, like, you can get a job, you can, do big things in your career or graduate. But I think watching 2 people marry is something, like, so different, and it's so special because it's like, it really is, joining 2 people as one, even though you are individuals. Like,
Did you cry that day?
I don't know. I don't think I definitely probably cried after the ceremony, like, after the little ceremony,
Yeah.
after Ray married us, because he also had such beautiful, because he had been our friend forever as well. He
Or
had
also
such
went to middle school and high school with you guys, grew up
Yeah.
with all of us.
He had such beautiful things to say about us, and it was so nice because it was basically, you know, having someone speak about us outside of us is so beautiful, and see, like,
Yeah.
how they view our relationship as well. So that was really special. I will say, because pretty much everyone gave a speech.
All 6 of you.
Yeah, all 6 of us. And it was just really nice to hear beautiful things, not only about, like, you as an individual, but you and the person you're marrying together, and how people, like, really admire your
Yeah.
relationship. I remember Steven was just like, he basically explained us as like yin and yang, because like I used to party all the time, but now I'm like more of a homebody, and I was then too.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
he still loves a good party.
Yes.
It was just so nice because literally just said, he was like, Maddie is such like a good compliment to Michael. Like, they just compliment each other so well. Like, she's the calm, he's the storm, but then also like
Totally.
I'm the OCD one and he's the chill one. So like, depending on we're talking about, we very much balance one another.
Yes,
And it
you
was
are
really
each other's
beautiful.
compliments.
Yeah, and it was really beautiful to see and hear other people see that. So that
So
was really
highly recommend speeches at weddings then.
I do highly recommend speech from the right people.
From the right
We've heard
people.
some bad speeches.
Yeah, yeah. Pick who's gonna speak at your wedding very wisely.
Yeah.
I also think setting a time limit I also think setting a time limit for how long they should speak is nice, like giving the parameters, like each person gets to speak for 3 minutes, because sometimes people will end up rambling and we're 10 minutes in and no one cares. So
Yeah.
short, concise, 3
Yes.
minutes.
I
So
also think within, like 3 minutes is a good time because it gives them enough time to basically like explain how they view you and also like who they are to you, especially in like
mhm.
a larger, like a larger wedding.
Yeah.
Because also I feel like long speeches end up just becoming nothing because you're just
Yes.
talking to talk and talk and talk. And you're like, okay, you're either repeating yourself or you're not really getting your point across as
At all.
eloquently as you can. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of big weddings versus small weddings, I was in Spain like a month ago and I texted you because at this point I hadn't decided what we were going to do. I hadn't had a wedding planner. At the time I didn't have a date or anything. And I texted you because I was feeling really, really anxious. And I was like, I feel like I can find the text. I feel like it'll actually like read
Yeah.
better. One sec. I was like, Maddie.
Like,
Literally. Okay. Okay. So I texted Maddie and I said, "Hi, beauty. How are you? G and I have been talking a lot about wedding planning recently, and I know you and Michael did something tiny in Montauk. Do you ever have moments of wishing you had a bigger party, or are you so grateful you did something small? I've been having really bad anxiety, and the thought of throwing a big party just feels like ... too much at times, but wondering if I'll regret not having a big wedding." Do you want to
yes.
give your thoughts, or I can read your response?
Read the response. I feel like
You
it was
said,
a good.
"Hi." Yeah, it was so spot on, and then I was like, "Oh, this didn't help me at all."
I know. And I was like, I'm
Your response was, you were like, "Hi, babe. I'd say I don't regret the day at all, but I do want to throw a big anniversary party down the line." So I think for me, it was so small. I want my family to be a part of the day, especially after seeing them at your sister's wedding. But I imagine yours will be a happy medium of big or small. And I was like, well, it's either we elope or it's 100 people.
yeah.
So there is no medium, but thanks.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because not that once again, I don't regret the day at all. I don't
No.
regret the decision at all. But
And you
then,
were also pregnant. There was a time bomb in a
yes,
way of
it
getting
was.
down, of wanting to get married.
And, but then, I was just at my sister's wedding in Guadalajara last winter
Yeah.
and the entire family was there. I mean, I know but family dynamics are interesting, especially in divorced families. A lot of my family had not seen each other, like my dad's side and my mom's side had not seen each other since I was probably like 3 years old. But the way that they all came together and truly celebrated just the love for my sister and her husband, Caro, it was beautiful. And I think, that I want to also give that to my family at some point as well, and
Yeah.
obviously a different way. But I do think it's special. And also, like, who doesn't love a really good party?
We love a party. And
Love,
I've been to your anniversary party since. We've had big backyard parties at your house that have been
yeah.
so much fun and celebrations, but I totally get it. So speaking about your sister's wedding and the fact that your parents are divorced, your father has also passed.
Yes.
Did your sister do anything that day to honor him at
Yeah.
her ceremony?
Yes, it was really beautiful. She had a framed photo of him that she keeps in her house that she packed in her suitcase and traveled from California to Guadalajara with. And she put him the picture at the best seat in the house. She put it front and center, first row, first seat on her side. And, I didn't know she was doing that. And I happened to just like be walking around taking photos because it was in this beautiful estate in Mexico. And I saw the photo and I thought that was really like a special
Yeah.
way to remember him, especially because, a lot of his family was there that we didn't really see quite often.
Right.
Um, and going back to, like, not that families get over it, but that they did a really good job of just like being there for Morgan. My mom even said to my stepmom, she was like, you deserve to sit next to Chris, my dad. And so my stepmom sat next to his photo and my mom sat in the second row and it was just like really
Oh,
special. Yeah. Even on her own daughter's wedding.
that was very selfless of your mom.
Yeah. She, everyone knew what the right thing was and they
Right.
did the right thing. And there's like a beautiful video floating around somewhere where my entire family in the heart of Mexico, there's like 40 of us, in a giant circle singing We Are Family, just like
Oh,
screaming, dancing. I know I told my sister I need the video. And it's just like that moment I realized truly I was
yeah.
like, that's something so beautiful that is really special. And like that's what a wedding is. And that's like what a wedding does, you know?
Heal a family. It can
Yeah.
heal old wounds.
Yeah.
It could also make old wounds new and
Yeah.
bloody again,
Yes.
but they could also heal
We
them.
were very lucky and it healed old wounds. And now, you know, it's funny because they all live very close to each other in Massachusetts, but have not seen each other in years. And
Yeah.
since my sister's wedding, they really have, you know, they think about like both sides thinks about each other and wishes each other happy Thanksgiving and happy birthdays. And it was something just like really magical, honestly, is a way
Oh,
to describe it. So although I loved our ceremony, I do think a wedding, you know, is meant to be big and beautiful and a celebration, and as many people as you can fit should be there.
that's so
Yeah.
sweet. What would you tell brides that are considering eloping?
I would tell them if that's really what your heart desires, I would do it. It's at the end of the day, like, of course, my sister's wedding was beautiful and getting the family together is beautiful, but you're really doing it for you and your partner. And I think that's something so special.
Yeah.
And it was, you know, it was worth every second of it. And of course, like, we're going to have a party at some point, but I just think if that's what your heart desires, you should do it because it's for you. It's for you and your husband. And if you both agree that's what it should be, then that's what it should be. And it's also, you know, the financial cost of everything as well. Like the room was, you know, it was still expensive. It was probably like a
Of course.
$5,000
Yeah,
room. But
easily.
yeah, and then the dinner was probably like because everyone was drinking, it was probably like
Two
$2,000.
grand. Yeah.
Yeah. But in the grand scheme of things, $7,000 to
All in. Not so bad.
$107 isn't that bad.
Yeah. Here are our two options.
Yeah. Just honestly, I would say if your heart desires an elopement and if you're afraid that your family may not get along, I will say like we were very lucky with my
Yeah.
sister's like at my sister's wedding with our family, but I completely understand that it doesn't go that way for everybody.
Did you have to prep your family? Did you sit them down or did your sister sit them down and be like, guys, this is my wedding. Act
No,
appropriately?
she didn't. I think the people that showed up that came because not everyone could come. It's
Of
a
course.
far trip, a long trip. I think the people that came knew that that's what they were gonna. That was the mo. You know, was to get along, not create drama, be there
Yeah.
for Morgan, and that was the whole purpose. So I think they really understood
Good.
their assignment. I know not everyone has that ability to do that, which is sad. Um, but yeah, if you want to elope, elope. And then, like I said, you can always, if you decide that, oh, now I do want to celebrate with everyone, have a party. Who cares?
Totally.
Everyone loves a party. Like,
It's just one day. So you
exactly.
want to have a big one, a small one, whatever, you can have another day.
Yeah.
Everyone's always happy to celebrate love. So
Yeah. Agreed. And like, we can always renew our vows or like whatever it may
totally.
be. There's, you know, it's not because you chose to elope doesn't mean you can never celebrate again in a bigger way, which, you know, so
I love that. That
yeah.
is key.
Yeah, it is key. It's important.
So I have a wedding dilemma from the Wedding Dilemma hotline that I'm going to need your help on. Let's give this bride some advice.
Let's do it.
This one's kind of crazy, and I'm actually curious what you have to say.
Gosh, okay.
Hi, Kat. I need your help before I lose my mind. My future mother-in-law showed me the dress she plans to wear to my wedding. It's a full-length white beaded gown, like an actual wedding dress. When I said gently it looked very bridal, she laughed and said, well, it's my son's big day too. I want to look special. She then told me she didn't want to tell her friends what the dress looked like because she wants the guests to gasp when she walks in. I honestly thought she was joking at first, but she's dead serious. My fiance doesn't think that this is that big of a deal and that I should just let it go because it's not worth the fight. My friends think I should confront her, and my mom wants to call her out directly and shut it down. What do I do?
Okay. I'm so sorry you're dealing with that. That's really hard.
Crazy.
I would say if her mother feels as though she wants to approach her directly, I would say maybe that is the best option. It's two moms, you know. they're on the same playing field because like it's the
Right.
mom of the bride, the mom of the groom, and trying to reason with her that way. I don't think the bride is really going to get through to her mother-in-law, her future mother-in-law. I don't know if her son is the only son, but my husband is an only child and the only son, and so I have very much understand the dynamic of like
Yeah.
son and mother and like the protection that they feel over their
Mhm.
children and their sons and letting them go. I mean, one, I would try to just reason with her in a very calm way and just be like, listen, like, I understand it's a beautiful dress, but is there any way you could wear it elsewhere? I don't
Maybe
know.
spill some red wine on her in the beginning, like, have one of the groomsmen do a
Yeah,
coordinated attack of red wine, and all of a sudden the
I
dress is red
know.
and white.
I mean, that's a really hard place and I feel really bad. I would try to have her mother reason with her future mother. I think because they're both coming from the same place in the wedding party, it's the best chance of figuring it out in a very non-argumentative way. I think you also don't want to go to bat with your mother-in-law, especially right before your wedding. I
This
have
is
been
not how you
there.
wanna start your wedding and your marriage.
Yeah, it's not, and I've been there previously to getting
Mhm.
engaged and married, and it's not a great place to be. It's also not, it's like once the bridge is burned, it's hard to rebuild, which
Yeah,
I thankfully have, and I have a beautiful relationship with my mother-in-law now.
totally.
Um, but I think coming from her mother, because they're on the same playing field, might be the best option. Also, at the end of the day, I think you need to think about like how important it is to you that if she say she feels super comfortable in this dress or whatever, no one's going to really everyone's going to look at her and be like, that's crazy. And
That's what I was thinking, like,
yeah,
she kinda looks like the crazy one.
she looks crazy. She looks like she's doing it for attention, which it seems
Yes.
as though she obviously is. And at the end of the day, everyone's going to be looking at the bride and groom. Um,
Mhm.
So if you want no altercation, I would just keep on keeping on. And you also don't want to fight with your to be husband about
No.
this. It's not worth it.
You know what you could do as we were talking about it? You know what you could do if you wanted to be passive aggressive about it? Is have your mom wear a white dress. So both of the moms
Good.
wear white dresses. It would take away
Everyone's
the
white.
yeah, turn the whole wedding into a white party. But like you could have your mom wear a white dress and then it's like the mothers are wearing white, not just her.
Yeah.
If you
That's
wanted
also
to be like a little passive aggressive about it.
which we love that.
Well, just a little
I'm
bit, you
usually
know what I mean? And you're
trying to
the
make
star.
it fun.
Yeah. And listen, you're the bride, you're the star. No one cares.
Yeah. No matter what, you can't, if it keeps going and
Yeah.
escalates, then just let it go and just focus on yourself and your to be husband because I
Yeah.
think that's the whole point.
But I don't think that this is the hill you want to die on before
No,
your wedding and
agreed.
you marry into this family.
Exactly. Definitely not.
No. Okay. Well, Maddie, thank you so much for sharing your beautiful story with us from childhood neighbors to parents and your dreamy Montauk elopement. This was really so much fun. Thank you so much for your time and sharing everything that you did with us. I love you. I adore you. I appreciate you. To everyone who's listening, if you love this episode, please hit the subscribe button, 5 stars, share it with a friend. Check us out on YouTube if you want the video version, or on Spotify. You can also watch the video version. And it's pretty much streamed anywhere you can listen to your podcasts. So thank you so much, Maddie. Thank you.
Thank you.